Many of you know Dave Ramsey as a absolute financial guru, helping millions of people reach financial freedom, and really the elimination of debt is what the focus has been. Now, even though some of his teachings I believe to be a little bit outdated, but I'm going to be going through some of the 10 financial lies that Dave Ramsey covers. And overall, guys, being a financial counselor, this has made a really big difference, not only in my life, living some of these. I'm going to go through kind of the personal experience and the journey that I have seen, but also financial counseling other people. As a financial counselor, it does make a big difference, guys. The more education that you possess, the more you can really get a hold of your financial picture. Starting with number one, debt is normal. Now, this is a belief that I know a lot of people really do hold true, that having a mortgage, you're always going to have a mortgage. You're always going to have debt. You're always going to have auto loan debt. There is a ton of things, guys, that carry debt. Well, with that comes interest. With that interest is time and money. That is right, guys. You are either spending your time at work to make money, to essentially give it to interest, or you're just, working a side hustle. Regardless of what you do, you are paying for the items that you have, and you're paying interest on those items. Now, for a majority of people that have credit card debt, you're paying for items that you might not even have anymore, or experiences that you had in the past. That is the reason, guys, debt is not normal. Debt is what we're looking to go ahead and eliminate. Now, number two on this list, plenty of time to plan for your financial future. Now, when you look at some of the greats like Warren Buffett didn't acquire the amount of money that he has until you get into the compounding interest, which was about 60 years old. Once you start getting $1 billion, if you start getting and when you start getting compounding interest, it goes faster and faster and faster, guys, meaning that the earlier that you're planning, the earlier that you're budgeting, the earlier that you're investing is really going to be the game changer. And this is where I have set up not only myself, but my family, even for my kids that are age 9 and 7. I do have investment accounts for them because a financial future for them, I want to be completely debt-free. And I also want them to be debt-free when it comes to student loans, which planning, I know right now, I might have another 9 years with my daughter. It's going to make a big difference, guys, if I can cover all of her student loans or not having student loans at all, paying for the entire education. So when she graduates, it is coming out completely debt-free without the student loans for the next 10 years hanging over her head. Number three, I don't make enough money to live debt-free. Now this, of course, with the rising of inflation, with the wage gap kind of not filling in as fast as cost of living, this is really living with inside your means. Now, I know for a lot of people, this can be incredibly difficult, but I have seen people that are making $3,000 a month that live well with inside their means, depending on if they're getting a roommate, if they're living together, if they're looking for a cheaper place for rent, if they're looking for assistance from the government. There's a lot of different ways, guys, to really live with inside your means, and you have to really stick to it. It might be difficult for a lot of people or incredibly challenging if you're not making enough money, but it doesn't mean you can't work extra hours. You can't have a side hustle. As soon as you start living with inside your means, and when you start eliminating the debt, which again is kind of a huge overburden that people do have, you can live debt-free, guys. I have seen people that are making $40,000, $50,000 a year that are 100% debt-free, which I know, again, a lot of people say it's not possible, but trust me, guys, it is. Which gets us into number four, the sacrifices are not worth it. That is right, guys. To become completely debt-free, there are going to be sacrifices short of making, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. There are going to be sacrifices to become debt-free. Once you get debt-free, you know what? It's time to loosen the reins a little bit. Maybe go enjoy whatever you like to. Short-term sacrifice for really the long-term longevity of being completely debt-free is a game changer for not only your life, guys, but your kids' life, for future generations. If you can start investing at a very young age or at a younger age, it is going to make a game-changing difference again for your entire life. Now, if you like the content, guys, that I'm providing on the channel, consider subscribing down below, and let's get into number five. Having a budget means it limits your freedom. This is not true at all, guys. And I really stress this when I go through the budget making process with a lot of members that I have. Whatever you love to do, put it in the budget. If it can be allocated, if it can go into the budget. Let's say, for instance, you like to travel every single year. You're going to spend $3,000 every year traveling. Put it in the budget. If you like going out to eat and dining at expensive restaurants, put it in the budget. Anything that you like to do, guys, if you like to collect Magic the Gathering cards like I do, put it in the budget. That is right, guys. As long as the things can be allocated in the budget, Budget isn't going to be so strict that you're sacrificing everything in your entire world, or the budgeting is not going to be so strict that you literally have limitations to everything you do in the world. If you want to make it work, if you want to make the budget spending plan, you don't even have to call it a budget. I know a lot of people don't. They call it the spending plan or the life plan or the life goal, whatever you want to call it, guys. It is still fundamentally a budget. Tracking the money that is coming in, tracking the money that is going out, and budgeting for the things in your life. This can also include home repairs, car replacement, guys. If you're putting away $150 a month when you need a new car, if you have $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to put down, that is a game changer, not only in the purchase price of the vehicle, but it also makes a really big difference in the interest you're going to pay when you are really paying down and having that car. Number 6, you need to keep up your appearances. Now, this is the keeping up with the Joneses. This is the lifestyle creep. This is what a lot of people do talk about. You don't have to. This is really a societal thing, in my opinion, guys, that a lot of people want to keep up, where if the neighbors get a brand new car, we get a brand new car. If they get new stuff, we need new stuff. That is not the truth at all, guys. There are a lot of people that really stay up with yourself, and that is my opinion. That you just need to stay up with what makes you happy, guys. You'll come to a point in your life, and I've definitely reached that, where stuff doesn't really seem to make me happy. I would much rather have a lot of experiences, especially with having younger children, experiences with my spouse versus having a lot more stuff. I would rather be traveling to Disneyland, going to Europe, visiting Italy, having a lot more of the experiences than keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with the new cars, keeping up with the updates to the house, things of that nature. Number 7, I want it now. This has been a huge rise when it comes to the buy now and pay later mentality. So a lot of people have bought it now, might be 12 months, same as cash, but for a majority of people, it is going to be the buy now, or pay later in increments with interest. That is right, guys. A lot of places, I believe Affirm does it, Apple does it, I know Best Buy does it, even a couple local companies here, where if your purchase is more than $100, guys, that is right. They are baselining this at $100. You can actually break it up into 4 payments. You can break it up to 6 payments. If it's a little bit more, you can break it up to 12 payments if it is a little bit more. But there are fees to go ahead and do that. There are interest rates to go ahead and do that. A lot of places really do charge you. And again, it's great to pay over 12 months, but within those 12 months, you're getting charged additional fees, which again, doesn't make it really beneficial because debt elimination is what we're looking for right here. Number 8, not using debit is a scary lifestyle change, or not using your credit cards. That is really kind of crazy. So big picture, guys, when you look at debt, not using debt, not essentially using debt to live your life, it's a game changer, guys. When you exchange that credit card for a debit card, makes a big difference, guys. It is linked to your money. It is linked to your checking account. Now, there have been a lot of studies where people using debit cards versus credit cards save about 20% annually by using a debit card versus using a credit card. I know a lot of people say they want the rewards points. It's beneficial. They pay it off every month. Even though you're paying it off every month, you are getting rewards. You are spending more using your credit card, period. It has been proven, guys. It has been, you're not gaming the system. You're not beating the credit card companies. Even if you are getting rewards, if you are paying it off every month, again, you're probably spending more. And even if you're still keeping your spending in check, all of those people that cannot afford or have essentially not budgeted well enough to have debt, and that is paying these credit cards absorbent fees, that is where your rewards are coming from, guys. That is where the rewards programs are coming from. Number 9, debt is not a big deal. This is one of the big game changers, guys. Now, I actually seen a interview recently with Dave Ramsey, and I believe it was Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban was talking about the debt elimination. Literally, the best thing you can do financially, period, is getting rid of debt. When you look at credit cards, especially high interest credit cards, when you start looking at 20, 22, 24% interest rates that they're charging on credit cards, there is nowhere that investments are going to get that. It might be one-off, it might be niche, but overall, paying off debt long-term is going to be the number one biggest benefit that you're going to see. And the final one, guys, is getting your spouses on the same page. It is a team effort. If you have a spouse, if you have a partner, if you have a couple, you have to be on the same page. It is really important that when it comes to goals, when it comes to especially financial goals, guys, when you have kids, when you have a spouse, you have to be on the same page. You have to be kind of pointed in the right direction. Fundamentally, because if you have someone who is a saver, if you have someone who is a really avid spender, you're always going to have fights about finances, guys. It is never going to end. It is never going to change. When it comes to the financial picture, you and your spouse need to be on the same page. When you start looking at the 5, 10, 15-year plan, if you're on the same page, it is going to be a game changer for your relationship as well as the rest of your life together. Now, a lot of people have also commented that the happy marriage is because the finances work, because they work together, because the spouses are on the same page. So guys, let me know what you guys think about the list, and I'll catch you in the next video.